Hi everyone and happy Monday. We have a page here. It's part of a picture from Lost Ocean, and this is sorry, I didn't say this is the Johanna Basford planner, and I'm having a little look at this page, and it's actually a symmetrical design. We have actually only about that much that doesn't repeat, so I think. So anyway, we'll make a start. Probably won't colour the whole thing, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I've got my black widows here, which I think I'm going to use. I picked something that I could sharpen to a nice fine point. So the black widows do that, definitely. So I'm going to use, I think, the spider set, probably only. I have got all my others, but I thought maybe just sticking to one set and a more limited colour palette might be easier, as there's a lot going on this page. I'm actually going to make a start. I'm going to use the banana colour and do the middle. Let's come in. Oh, my battery's flat on my remote control. I thought it was flat, and then I didn't worry about it, and it seemed to be working okay, and now it feels like it's definitely flat. So never mind. So here you can see that now. Whoops, let's catch the light on it. There we go, the banana. And I'm just going to do the whole of this, I think, in the banana. Now, there isn't a lot of space in these thin lines to do anything very much. So I am just going to block them in. And I just think a yellow is nice and bright. It draws the eye into the centre. It can almost look, I had thought about doing a sort of gold, but we only have yellow, but that's fine. There are some other, you could do a deeper yellow if you have one, you know, but I rather like this one. It's quite vibrant. It shows up quite well, I think, even on the white paper, even without background. Now, talking of background, this one, I'm not going to do a background. There's a lot of finicky details. It's going to be too difficult to get in there. I think it would look quite nice with a black background, to be honest, but no, not. Just going to leave it on the white. I think it will work okay. Not quite sure what to do in the middle there. I'm just going to go over it a little bit with the yellow. Now you could do shading here. You could make this gold by doing browns and yellows and things like that, but for me that's a little bit too fiddly for such a tiny area, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to do it, keep it plain and simple. Now, as I say, this is a symmetrical design, so this centre part repeats around, but I'm colouring the whole of this bit, but I won't do that for the rest. I'll only colour the small sections, and then I'll finish it off camera, or else I'll just be doing the same things over and over. So there's our centre. Now, oh, I'm trying to zoom out with non-battery, wrong way. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me because I'm using the actual on the camera rather than the remote control. So I'm looking at our design here. So we have a few things here which, although they're symmetrical, would do the whole thing, the diamond and the crab. But these leafy bits, you know, we'll just do a bit. I think we'll start actually with this thick vine type piece. I'm thinking if we use a slightly lighter green, we can go over the top where these dots are with something a bit darker, and they'll show up. So I'm going to use this is the cicada. For all these vines, it's quite a bright light green, and often I would do a vine in a darker colour, but I think it's quite nice being bright, and it's nice to do something a little bit different to what I always do. And I'm thinking these dots could be darker. Now you could either do that in a darker pencil. We have the toxic green and the one I've sharpened the name off of. Hang on, it'll tell me in the lid. The fang green, that's it. Yeah, I've sharpened them a lot. So look. Now, Black Widows you can buy open stock, I think, from the Facebook page of the company. If you get in touch with them through that, I think you can buy open stock. I haven't worried about it because I've got, I think it's the Scorpion set that has lots of greens in it, and so I haven't worried about ordering more at the moment. A lot of these spider ones are quite short, particularly the greens, because they're the ones I use the most. So but I'm just going to sort of use something else instead. Sometimes I think, as much as ordering new ones is quite good, using colours that you haven't used yet is also good. It takes you out of your comfort zone, gets you using up ones that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise used. So I'm just doing plain colouring for this, you hopefully can see. That's the intention anyway, like that. Now that's, I think, all of the vines, because that one there is the same as this one, and this one is the same as this one. So it's all repeating round. So, but I'm looking, we've got a bit here, so I'm going to do this one too in this colour. So we're sticking with our cicada. It's getting really fine. I'm just going to sharpen it. There we go. And just do around here, that's it. Just see what else we've got. There's coral, plant, more coral. I'm thinking maybe these. And there's one there, look. Oh, and that bit. How many of you noticed that I'd missed that? Now, is that a bit of one? Without looking at the original picture, I wouldn't know, but I'm going to just assume it is like that. And, oh, we've got this bit too. Whoops, going massively out of the lines. There we go. Okay, now we've got other grassy bits and leaf bits. I'm going to do all of those first, get all the greens down, and then see how it all works and looks. So I'm going to grab this green. This is the toxic green. I can just see the C there. So it's not the fang green, it's the toxic green. I'm going to use this for the grasses. I'm going to try and make them a little darker at the base and lighter at the tip, if I can. Now, if you don't have this set of pencils, then you can easily substitute for others. You want one that sharpens to a good point, say like a polychromo. If I was using polychromos here, I would make this the emerald green. I would use the light green for this, and maybe the cadmium yellow for the centre there. But it doesn't, it's not that important, I don't think. I'm trying to fade slightly towards the tip of the grasses, but I don't think it's really showing up that much, especially on these little pieces. I'm just going to do all of them really, all the same. I think having a bit of consistency through it will help to sort of bring it all together. And I'm sort of avoiding doing the bits that I don't know what colour to do. I always do this, because once you've got things done that you know what colour you're doing, it helps you to decide, because you can't do it those colours. We can, but I'm not going to. I want to do something different, so that helps me to eliminate some colours. Little fish, hey little fishy in my way. They are teeny fish, aren't they? I do like colouring fish. I used to find them quite difficult. I didn't know what colours to do them, but now I just do them random. I think that's it, but I'm wondering what this is. I might just do that as if it's a grass as well. As I say, if you've got the original Book of Lost Ocean, you could have a look, because this is a chopped up bit of a big picture, so you could have a look and see what those are. But I'm not going to. I'm going to use the fang green for the this one here. You can tell it's just my favourite green. Although you can't always, because sometimes pencils break and you sharpen them and then they get small. But usually it's your favourites that get smallest. I like this one because it's good for shading with greens. If you want to darken a bit, because it's nice and dark. Now this one, if I was doing polychromos, probably, I don't know. I can't think of the name. Oh, I've got, hang on, I can look it up. I would say chromium green opaque. I can do these leaves as well. And these. I find it interesting that Johanna draws leaves underwater. I've just missed a bit of the grass look there. I'm just swapping back to my toxic green for those. Just checking through. I think that's it. So this seaweed, I quite like doing these ones for some reason in a sort of yellowy gold colour. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the stinkbug. It's a great name, isn't it, for this one. I am going to try and fade it towards the tip of each leaf, but it's not that easy. Do my best. That's all I can do, isn't it? There we go. I've noticed I've missed those and I haven't done the inside of those. Let's do that next. So this is the cicada for this edge, because I missed it. And then, which green for the inside? I can't use the, yeah. I'll use this fang green. I'm showing you. It's so useful. Sorry. It really isn't very useful, is it? So I didn't give you a poly equivalent of this, I would say, the green gold be the one to go for, or an ochre or Naples yellow, one of those sort of browny yellowy tones. Now for this seaweed, I like to do that in a brownish red colour. Don't quite have that colour in this set, but I'm going to use the tarantula. Sorry if you don't like spiders, but that's what happens when I use the spider set. And so all of these. Now again, you could try and do it a little darker at the base and lighter as you go up. It might show up more with this colour. We'll give it a go, because I've got quite a large area to cover. So I would prefer this if it was a more of a maroony burgundy colour, but this is okay. There we go. I've tried to fade it a bit. I think I can see it a little bit. We're going to do all of these little ones the same. Now this one, we don't know how close to the base we are. Just do that bit a little bit darker. And there. I was out just now in town and we picked up a birthday card from my nephew. He's turning 13. I tried to remember what it was like turning 13, becoming a teenager. I think I remember getting cards which said teenager and all this sort of thing, and I didn't really like it because teenager has a lot of negative associations with it, like you're going to become moody and nasty, rebellious and all that sort of thing. I didn't really like it. I also hated getting older. I always did. I never wanted to be older, if that makes sense. That leaf there I haven't done. I'm going to do that. That's the fang green. I shall do that one as well. There we go. Right, where should we go now? We've got fish. We haven't got a lot left to do. Oh, I haven't done that one. I'm going to do that in the brown, the tarantula. Yeah, so I didn't like turning 13. I couldn't find him a card with 13 on anyway, so I thought maybe it's best to avoid the whole teenage reference thing going on. I said to my sister, you're getting another teenager in your house, and she said, but I'm just about to lose one because as I gain one, well, her eldest daughter is 21, is the toadstool. I'm going to use it for the coral. I never know how to colour coral. I'm just going to colour it. I feel this toadstool is actually quite a corally colour. Anyway, yes, but her next daughter is 18, so she won't be a teenager for much longer. And she's the same age as my boys. Well, there's 9 months between them because I held her just after she was born, just as I became pregnant. I was pregnant actually, I didn't know, but I hoped, but I didn't know. I just finished my, I just had my IVF treatment. I think this is coral down here, can you see down there? Now I'm just plain colouring this, even though there's lots of pattern on it, keeping it really simple. Now, that's all the coral. Now, if you want to, you could do these lines a bit darker. I wonder what we could use. I'm going to use a red, I think. This ladybug. And I'm going to do a bit of detailing on the coral, just because it's there. Don't have to. I can fill that in a little bit lighter like that. I don't know why I chose to make that dark, and you know, just so it was a bit different. I do remember my 18th. I had 3 friends round and my parents went out so we could have a little party, but you know, none of us were drinkers, so we didn't get drunk or anything, we just sat around and chatted. And they came back really early, I remember, and we went out to the local pub and it was so horrible we went back home again. Right, little fish. I'm always tempted to do fish orange, but we've got a lot of brown, yellowy, pinky colours, so I think I'm going to do them in purple instead, just because it's a bit different. So I'm just grabbing my amethyst, is the purple colour we have in this set. There we go. I'm just, yeah, no, that's fine. So I'm just thinking about other colours on this page and whether I want that for the jewel or not. We've got that sort of diamond to do. I'm going to make the stripes just a bit darker really, just with extra layers. You could use the darker purple, the other, there are some really nice dark purples in some of the other Black Widow sets, the grape or the space would be nice. I think the grape is a bit prettier, to be honest, but I'm okay with just using this one set. It just keeps me feeling a little bit calmer. Today I'm not in the mood for choosing a million colours, so I'm not going to. Right, I'm going to do the gemstone in blue. Now I'm purposely avoiding 2 of the Black Widow pencils that discolour with white pen, because I'm going to put a little bit of white shine on my gemstone, and the what's this one called, the Starry Night and the Plum Pudding both go pink, neon pink, if you put white pen on them. So I'm using the Zephyr blue instead. This top section I'm gonna just leave some white like that to make it look shiny. Now these, we've got a line in the middle, I'm going to ignore that line and just colour like that and leave a shine in the middle. Because it's quite small, I think that's easier. And I hope that's going to look a bit shiny. Now I did think I might use some white pen on this, which is why I picked this colour, but actually I think it looks okay without it, so I'm not going to. And then we have our crab. I think I'm going to use the cyanide pink for the crab. I'm always unsure what colour crabs actually are, but that's what he's going to be. So a cyanide pink. Oops, there we go. So this blue, if you're using polychromos, I would do indigo. Now I'm fading this towards the tip. Look, there isn't a pink this colour in polychromos. You could use your rose carmine though. I think that's the nearest. And the for the purple I didn't say, probably the violet or the purple violet would do fine. It doesn't matter that much which ones you choose because you've got quite a mix. The brown, use your sienna or just your walnut brown. It depends if you want something as red as that. For the coral you could use the medium flesh, which is also called coral. And one of your the Venetian red or the Pompeian red for that. It would look quite different, but I think it would look better. I haven't got a Black Widow / Polychromos conversion chart. I've been asked to do a Pablo Prismacolor one, which I will do at some point. But I'm just trying to get lots of videos done at the moment so that I can have a little holiday, and then I'll worry about that after. So all we've got left are these dots. Now I'm not sure whether to just go with the dark green and dot it on, whether to do a brown so it's a little bit different and then tones in a bit more with the brown there, or whether to use a pen. I think I'm going to try the Huntsman, which is the very dark brown, and if that looks a bit naff, then I could always put some glitter pen or something on it. I think it might just tie it together because it's so bright. I think it might just tone it down a little bit. I did bring in my metallic pencils, and you could easily do this in metallic pencils if you've got enough different shades. I actually brought in a packet of 12 because, as I said, I wasn't in the mood for choosing colours really. I don't think 12 would have been enough. There's only 2 greens. Obviously you don't have to do everything green, or you don't have to do everything different shades of green, but this wasn't quite right, so I haven't filled in that one. That is one of our fang green colours. I'm not going to show you the pencil because the name's been sharpened off. There we go. So I think that is all. Now if I was going to do a background, which I'm not, I would use the forget-me-not, or like a cerulean blue, a phthalo blue, that sort of colour, or even a slight turquoise colour, a lighter blue, because we've only got this very dark blue, so it would work. But I don't think I'm going to do one at all. There's a chance I change my mind, but it's going to be really fiddly, and I think with all the mix of colours, hopefully it will look okay without one. So I'm going to go away and finish the whole page, just following exactly the same as before, but to speed it up I will do all of one colour, then all of another colour, then all of another colour, and it makes it much quicker. And what I'll probably do is like do all of those, then all of those, the ones that are just, and then all the fish, and then I can just eliminate those colours quickly, and it will help me to, because I was missing bits of the green because there was so much, and do these curls next, and then the coral, and then, you know, then I won't miss the green because it'll be what's left basically. So I'm going to go away and do that, and hopefully that was okay for you, and I will share a completed picture at the end. I'm often not sure whether I'm going to get time to do that, but this time I know I will. I will go and get that done. It won't take me very long. It was fairly fast to colour. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a really super Monday. Yeah, I think today I'm actually got the day off. What day is it? Yeah, 21st. Yeah, I'm having a few days off, so that's nice. So actually you might find that I don't answer your comments and questions and things like that as quickly, because I'm having what I've actually had from, I'm taking Thursday, so from Thursday to Tuesday off, a little long weekend, and then also next weekend, so I might not be quite as quick at responding, but I'm going to still be tuning in and having a little look at things. But for now, thank you so much, have a super day and happy colouring.